The throne chamber of the Zarathi hive was not built for mercy. Its ceiling rose like the inside of a colossal ribcage, grown rather than constructed, slick with bioluminescent veins that pulsed in slow, predatory rhythms. The air hummed with psychic pressure, a low-frequency presence that pressed against my thoughts like deep water. Every species that had ever been dragged here broke before the throne. Every species except mine. I stood in the center of the chamber, wrists bound by gravitic restraints, boots planted on organic stone that was still warm beneath my feet. Around me, Zarathi guards towered, 4 meters tall, chitinous, multi-limbed, their bladed appendages twitching in anticipation. They did not see me as a person. I was an anomaly, curiosity, a warning. At the far end of the chamber, the alien queen emerged from her cocoon throne. She was vast, larger than any of her soldiers, her carapace etched with ancient scars and living sigils that glowed a regal violet. Her many eyes fixed on me, not with hunger but calculation. Her psychic presence intensified, pushing into my mind, probing for terror. She expected fear in my eyes. Instead, she found something else. Human, her voice echoed directly inside my skull, layered with harmonics that could shatter lesser minds. You stand before extinction. Your species resists inevitability. Why do you not tremble? I met her gaze and said nothing. That was my first act of defiance. 3 months earlier, Earth had been just another target. The Zarathi did not conquer through war alone. They arrived with psychic broadcasts that collapsed governments, induced mass panic, and turned populations into compliant biomass. Entire civilizations surrendered before a single shot was fired. They tried that with us. Didn't work. Humans panicked, yes. We screamed, argued, blamed one another. But beneath the chaos was something older than reason. Stubbornness carved into our DNA. When the broadcasts hit, millions suffered migraines, hallucinations, despair. Millions more gritted their teeth and pushed through it. Our scientists called it neural noise tolerance. Our soldiers called it being too angry to quit. When Zarathi bioships entered orbit, they expected a broken world. They met resistance. I was not a soldier by birth. I had been a systems engineer, designing deep space infrastructure. But when the war came, everyone adapted. Humanity always does. We learn fast. Too fast for the hive's comfort. We discovered that their psychic networks relied on resonance. We jammed it with chaos. Music, random broadcasts, overlapping frequencies of human thought. We weaponized unpredictability. We sent ships on suicidal attack vectors because our commanders knew something the hive did not. Humans are comfortable with loss if survival is the prize. When my ship was captured, it wasn't because we were losing. It was because I volunteered. The Zarathi queen wanted to understand us. She demanded a human representative. Someone important. Humanity sent me instead. Not because I was powerful, but because I was ordinary. You do not answer, the queen said now, her mandibles flexing. Your species has been analyzed. Fear response is dominant under threat. Finally spoke. You analyzed the wrong parts. A ripple moved through the chamber. The guards shifted. The queen leaned forward slightly, intrigued. I sense no deception, she said. Only density. Your mind is loud. That's called being human. Her psychic pressure intensified, searching for cracks. She pushed images into my mind. Earth burning, cities collapsing, oceans boiling under orbital bombardment. I saw children screaming, nations falling, history erased. I felt it all. And I stayed standing. The queen recoiled a fraction. Why does this not break you? She demanded. I swallowed, my throat dry, and met her eyes fully. Because you're not showing me anything new. I told her our history then. I spoke of plagues that wiped out continents and wars that nearly ended us. Of ice ages, meteor strikes, and the long, brutal climb from caves to stars. I told her about how we learned to mourn and keep going anyway. I told her about hope. Not as a belief but as a habit. We don't survive because we're strong, I said. We survive because we refuse to stop. The Queen listened in silence, her psychic presence shifting from dominance to scrutiny. For the first time in her long existence, she encountered a species that did not equate pain with surrender. You should fear us, she said finally. We are eternal. We consume stars. And yet, I replied, you're here talking to me instead of killing me. That was when she understood. The Zirathi Queen saw it then. Not fear, not hatred, but resolve. A species that adapted faster than her hive evolved. A people who weaponized loss and turned desperation into strategy. A civilization that did not rely on queens or singular minds, but billions of flawed, stubborn individuals who kept pushing forward. You are dangerous, she said softly. I smiled for the first time since my capture. So are you. That's why this can end two ways. The chamber went silent. You can wipe us out, I continued, and spend the next 1,000 years dealing with what's left, because we will not go quietly. Or you can walk away and remember us as the species that looked extinction in the face and blinked last. The Queen withdrew her psychic presence completely. That, more than anything, terrified her. Days later I was returned to Earth. No treaty was signed. No apologies exchanged. The Zirathi fleets simply withdrew, vanishing into deep space. Other species would later learn that the hive altered its expansion patterns, avoiding regions marked with a simple designation in their archives. Humanity. Unassimilable. As for me, I went back to building systems, this time defenses, networks, and signals meant to carry one clear message into the void. We are not fearless. We are worse. We endure. And somewhere beyond the stars, an alien queen remembers the moment she searched a human's eyes for terror, and found a warning instead. The Zirathi fleets withdrew without ceremony. No victory broadcast. No declarations of conquest. One moment they filled our skies. Then they were gone. The alien queen never spoke to humanity again. But across the stars, her empire quietly changed its expansion charts. Worlds near human space were rerouted around, labeled with a single warning encoded in hive mind law. Do not provoke. Do not pursue. Do not test. Because when she looked into a human's eyes at the edge of extinction, she did not see fear. She saw a species that survives anything, and chooses to keep going anyway.